Okay, welcome back to Musician's Edition. Today we are looking in the snare drum part of the Essential Elements book at number 100 and 101. So these two pieces bring a lot of things together, right? A lot of the different stroke types we've been talking about, right? You see we've got some, in number 100, we've got some flams, we've got some buzz strokes, we've got eighth notes, 16th notes, quarter notes, right? Lots of stuff to think about. In number 101, we have some flams and some buzz strokes. We have some playing on the rim. We also have some accents in number 101, right? So these two pieces bring a lot of the stuff that has happened in this book thus far all together, right? Now remember, like what we were talking about in number 99 on the previous video, is we want to kind of break all of these different elements down and then slowly baby step our way into playing the full expression of the piece, right? So when we start with number 100, we can start with a number of things, right? But how about let's start by counting the rhythm, right? That will also give us a chance to kind of look through the piece and catch where we have things like flams or buzz strokes and that sort of thing, okay? So here we go, starting at the beginning, let's just count the rhythm. Ready, go. 1, 2, and 3, E and a 4. 1 and 2 and 3. 1, 2 and 3. 4 and 1 and 2, E and a 3. All right, so once you're comfortable with the rhythm, we can just play just the rhythm, leave out the flams, leave out the buzz strokes, leave out the dynamics. Let's just focus on rhythm this time. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, once that's comfortable, now we can slowly start to add elements into this, right? How about let's start by just adding in the dynamics, right? And nothing else, only dynamics and rhythm right now, okay? So here we go. 2, ready, go. All right, then once that's comfortable, we can start to add in a couple other things, right? So let's look at the buzz strokes in measure 2. If we glance through the piece, the only spot that we use buzz strokes is in measure 2, right? So we have buzz, buzz on the first 2 eighth notes, and then 2 and 3, right? Buzz, buzz, 2 and 3. Now remember, a lot of the exercises that we used in number 99 to kind of get our hands used to going from buzz strokes to single strokes, and also kind of working on our buzzes by themselves. Right? Make sure you just continue to work on that stuff because it'll keep benefiting you throughout this book when we have to go from buzzes to singles, right? And after this book and the rest of your playing career. Okay, so let's work on just measure 2, buzz, buzz, 2 and 3. Ready and okay, and let's do it a couple more times to get nice and comfortable. Ready, go. And one more time. Ready, go. Okay, feel like we can play that. So now let's put it in context and let's play measure 1 plus measure 2, and then that'll get us used to going from the beginning to that point playing the buzzes, right? So we're gonna leave out the flam at the beginning, but we're gonna play the dynamics like we worked on a second ago. Okay, here we go. First 2 measures. Ready, go. All right, and you can continue to work on that measure until it feels really, really comfortable, nice, until it feels like it's easy, right? And then we can start to add in some other things. So now let's look at the flams in the rest of the piece, right? That's the last little wrinkle we got to get in here. So remember, flams happen with one hand starting low, the other hand starting higher, and we move them at the same time so that the low hand hits just right before the high hand. Okay, so let's try that from the beginning. Our first one is soft, right? And then we'll get through the buzzes, and then we'll kind of pause at that quarter rest, and then we'll think through measure 3 and 4 before we try to play it. Okay, so here's the first 2 measures with everything: dynamics, flams, buzzes. Okay, here we go. 2, 3, and. All right, so that's the first 2 bars. Again, give that enough repetitions that it feels nice and comfortable. Okay, now let's look at measure 3 and 4 with the flams. So we have flam on 1, and then 2 and flam on 3, right? So after 2 and, we're gonna have to get our hands back in position for that flam, right? And then we have 4 and, another flam on beat 1 of measure 4, right? So after 4 and of measure 3, we gotta get our hands back in this position to be ready to play that flam in measure 4, all right? So we have flam, 2 and flam, 4 and flam, and 2E and a 3 with a decrescendo in the last measure. Okay, let's try measure 3 and 4. 2, ready, go. Okay, let's try that one more time. Ready, go. Okay. Now, once those two measures are comfortable, measure 1 and 2 are comfortable, we kind of layered in the different elements here. Now we're ready to put the whole thing together. Now, you may have noticed I've been playing with my snares off up to this point, okay? Kind of like we talked about in number 99, I like to practice a lot of buzz strokes with the snares off, right? Just so that I can hear the buzzes a little more clearly without a lot of extra vibration going on, right? Now I'm going to turn them on so we can play the piece 100% as written, okay? Here we go. Beginning of 100. 1, 2, ready, go. All right, let's try that one more time. Again, really using your ears for the flams and for the buzz strokes, making sure that they're nice and consistent, right? And then also one thing to kind of watch out for is that we don't accidentally accent the flams, right? Sometimes when we see a flam, we automatically play that note a little bit louder, but it's not supposed to be louder than the other notes, right? It's supposed to be the same volume as all the notes around it. It's just a little different texture to the sound by using a little note before that note, but no accents, right? Don't play the flams louder than the other notes. All right, let's try this whole thing one more time. 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, now let's look through number 100 or number 101. I'm going to go ahead and turn my snares back off so that I can hear myself play the buzz strokes in this one a little more clearly. Okay, let's start with the let's start by glancing through the piece and noticing a few things about it. Right, one is our time signature is 3/4. Right, so now we're counting to 3 as we're counting the rhythm. Right, and we notice we have some accents. Some of those accents are on flams. Some of them are on not flams. We also have some flams that don't have accents, right? So we have a lot of things that we can make, a lot of things that will make the music interesting, okay? Also notice we have some dynamics, but in 101, the dynamics are sudden, right? Or what we call subito dynamics, right? They're sudden dynamic changes, not gradual dynamic changes, right? So back in 100, we had crescendos and decrescendos that kind of bridged our dynamics to each other smoothly. In this one, we want to change right away when we see piano or when we see forte, right? It's suddenly loud, suddenly soft, okay? So let's start by just playing the rhythm. We're not gonna worry about playing on the rim. We're not gonna worry about flams. We're not gonna worry about buzzes. Only rhythm, right? And we're counting to 3 here. So here's 101, only the rhythm. 1, ready, go. Okay, now we have a pretty good picture of what that looks like. So now let's look at the measures that have buzzes, right? Let's start with, how about the last one? The last measure has buzzes on 1 and 2 and then a quarter note on 3, right? 1 and 2 and 3, or buzz, 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 3. Okay, and then the last note you see has an accent on it, right? Remember, accents just mean we're going to play that note louder than the other notes around it, okay? So this time we're going to play buzz, 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 and a little bit louder on beat 3, just like this. Okay, now if we look at the other measure with buzzes, which is measure 4, It's the same thing without the accent, right? So buzz, 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 buzz 3, but beat 3 is not louder, okay? As opposed to the last measure, which does have an accent. Okay? Now let's look through and see if we can kind of isolate the measures that have flams. Okay, so let's go with the next to last measure, which is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Measure 7. So we have flam and 2 and flam. So let's try that, not with accents. Let's try it without the accents first. Okay, now once we have that, we can add an accent to the first flam, not an accent to the last flam, right? So the first flam is going to be louder than the rest of the measure. So let's try it that way. Ready, and. And one more time. Ready, and. Okay. Now while we're here, let's go ahead and add the last measure. So we'll play flam and 2 and 3, buzz, 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 buzz 3. Okay, so this is the last 2 measures. Ready, go. Let's try that one more time. Last 2 measures. Ready, go. Okay, the 2 measures before it, we see we just have quarter notes, eighth notes, but they're on the rims, right? Which we did in a video a while back. So we're just going to move our sticks up here to the rim. Make sure we get the same sound. We're playing in the same part of the stick on each hand, okay? And notice this measure is piano. So we're going to, or these 2 measures are piano. So we're going to play them quietly. So let's try those 2 measures. That's measure 5 and 6. Ready, go. Okay. Simple enough, right? Straightforward. We just have to make sure that at the end of the measure before it, we get our sticks out there and are ready to play on the rim. Okay? Now let's continue to back up and let's look at the first 3 measures where we have a flam at the beginning of each of them, right? So measure 1, we have a flam on beat 1, and then we play 2 and 3 and, flam at the beginning of measure 2, flam and 2 and 3 and. Measure 3, we play flam, 2 and 3. Now notice all of those flams have accents on them, right? So all 3 measures, the first note can be louder than the rest of the measure. Okay, you'll also notice in measure 3, we have an accent on beat 3, right? So in measure 3, we play flam, 2, and 3. Okay, so let's try the first 3 measures by themselves here with the flams and the accents. Ready, go. Okay, once we get there, then we just have to play buzz, 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 buzz 3, like we did a little bit ago. And then we go to the rim at piano, right? And then when we come back to the head in measure 7 and 8, then we play forte. Okay, so at this point, we're ready to add it all together. Now that we've kind of broken down the different elements, so let's go ahead and try the whole thing. I'm going to leave the snares off this time, and then we'll do it one time at the end with all the snares on. Okay, here we go from the beginning. 2, ready, go. All right, now I'll try it with the snares on. Again, we just want to try to make this as interesting as we can, right? So some of the flams are louder than other flams. We've got buzzes. We gotta move to the rim and play softer, right? Adding as much interest as we can to the music here, okay? So really use your ears and try to make the different elements in here sound different from the others. All right, here we go. Last time through with the snares on. And a 1, and ready, go. Okay, so that's 100 and 101 in the Essential Elements book. Again, try to really define the different sounds that we have in the pieces, right? Make sure that they're really clear, really different, right? And really accurate and consistent with the other times that you use those different flams or buzzes or accents, okay? So a lot of stuff in there. Take your time, slowly build it up, work on one measure at a time or a couple measures at a time, just like we did today, and slowly work your way up into playing the whole piece. All right, so have fun with that, and I'll see you next time.